Hey everybody, welcome back to SheffPlays. Figured we haven't done a tier list in a while, so I've got a couple loaded up. First one we're gonna do is versions of Link from Zelda. I've been playing a lot of Zelda again, both Tears of the Kingdom, Twilight Princess, Wind Waker, so let's boogie. I don't know if we're going on appearance or if we're going on the Link itself. What is something going on with the top of my screen? Oh, okay, I see what it is. I'm a silly sausage. Alright, this guy. Give him a B. Not too bad. Classic. You know. It's pretty Link. Some of these, I know exactly which ones they are by looking at them, but some of them I do not. Only a couple, though. Link Adventure, I think. C. When you think Link, that's pretty standard. I don't think I've played that one before, but yeah. Ocarina of Time Link, that's an S. I know everyone loves this game, but I do really love the game. I've played it both on the 64, the 2DS, the GameCube. I think each way you can play it on the Switch. And it's just, it's such a classic. It never really gets old. Majora's Mask, we'll give it an A. I'm kind of going off the games a little bit here too. But that Link was pretty dope. Like, all the masks you could use were definitely really cool. The ones with special abilities. Even ones that weren't technically masks, like the bunny ears that just kind of made you run a little quicker. This is specific because there are multiple Toon Links, but they're all different games. I think this is Four Swords, which I haven't played a ton of, but I haven't played so much of it or so little of it to call it like a good or bad game, so I'll put it right in the middle. Wind Waker, A. That's an absolute classic. Wind Waker is just like, I think it was one of the first Zelda games that I really made progress in, and I just really like the design of Toon Link. It's one of the few that actually feels like his own little character. Minish Cap. I don't think I've ever played Minish Cap, but he is Toon Link, so I'll give him B. Twilight Princess, S. That is my favorite Zelda game. Will probably always be my favorite Zelda game. Like, that's a game I played since I was a kid. And it was super dark, so when I started getting into other Zelda games and saw like they were usually kind of like lighthearted, I was just like, wow, I had a really intense intro to this. Skyward Sword. Okay, I'll give it an A because I really do like the tunic. Like, the brightness of it really fits well with its world. But I haven't played a ton of Skyward Sword. I've played maybe 20 minutes of it. It's a game I would like to play, but I don't know. I have a Wii. I have the Switch. I don't know. I haven't played it yet. Well, I have, but not too much. Anyway. Who is this guy? Well, I know it's Link, but I mean, like, I can't figure out which game specifically this one's from. But it's got that classic look, so we'll strap him in B. Breath of the Wild Link, he gets an A. So, there is the Tunic of the Wild. But, you know, it's a lot of these are ones you either have at the beginning of the game or you get very quickly. With Tunic of the Wild, you have to play an absurd amount to get that tunic. And I mean, for what it's worth, it's okay looking. I don't think it's one of the best looking tunics. Spirit Tracks, I've never played Spirit Tracks. That one I haven't played. And that doesn't look like a tunic, so we'll give him a C. I've heard it's a good game though. I've heard it's a really fun game. The cartoon, just because he's goofy, we'll give him a B. Just the goofiness of him is like one of the few times he talks. Because, you know, he talks in some games, but it's like you select the word bubbles and it's implied that that's what he's saying. But that's one of the times where he talks and you can actually hear him and he's just a goober. If I'm correct, I think this is Zelda CDI. You gotta give it an A. Zelda CDI is a classic. It's one of the most games I've ever played in my life. Hyrule Warriors Link at S. He looks dope. Like, he looks like a swordman, like he's ready for war. And I just, what a tank. Alright, on to the next one is Bioshock 1 weapons. I've been on a huge Bioshock kick again. It happens like once a year, once every other year. And I go through and just rebeat the game several times. And I'm doing that right now again. So, why not rank the weapons? The first one is maybe my favorite. I think if 2, and this is a hill I will die on, I think if 2 had New Game Plus, it would be the best one in the series. Again, that's like the same rule with top 10s. I don't think any of the 3 games are bad. I think Infinite felt like its own thing, kind of like how Far Cry Primal feels like its own thing from that series. But I think strictly because New Game Plus, 1 is very slightly higher than 2. So starting off with the wrench, S. The amount of times I've beaten the game strictly using just the wrench, like we're talking Big Daddies, Fontaine. Fontaine is surprisingly easy to take down with the wrench, especially because there's so many tonics you can get that boost it. You can get 2 different ones that boost damage, 2 different ones that have a chance of freezing the enemy, like no matter what the enemy is, and then you can get ones that boost research damage, which we'll talk about a little more when we get to the camera. The handgun, or the pistol, that's an A. It's a pretty solid weapon. I only use it here and there when I actually do decide to use the guns in that game. It's mainly my go-to just because it's quick. It doesn't have enough ammo though, especially once you get the ammo upgrade. You only have 2 magazines, and even though they're 24 shots per magazine, and that's what I'm choosing to call it, it's not really a cylinder at that point. It's just, it goes through ammo really quick. The shotgun, that's another A. It's really fast with Big Daddies, when you're trying to get all the little sisters. It is like my main go-to if I'm not doing a wrench run. Whenever I come across a Big Daddy, whether it's electric buck or standard, it just wipes the floor with them. The machine gun, I'll give it a B. The only time throughout the game that I use the machine gun usually, and like only time, is at the end of the game. There's a mission where you have to like guide a little sister through a section of a level, and there's just enemies coming from all directions. That's the only time I use that gun, like, at all. But it does the job that it needs to do, and it's a really solid weapon. Camera, S. I know it's not technically a weapon, but it was in here, so I figured I'd throw it up on S, because the camera has so many advantages. Granted, once you're doing New Game Plus and you don't have to use it anymore, it's kind of, you know, just wasting space. But for what it does, it's incredible. It lets you turn spider splicer organs into med kits. It boosts your damage on every enemy. It makes it so you can hack turrets instantly. Like, it's such a good thing. I love the camera. And you get 3 different damage boosts per enemy type using that thing. The napalm gun, C. It's a super cool concept, but I don't think I've ever used it. I think I may have fired it into the air just to see what it looks like, but I don't think I've ever actually used it. The crossbow, B. I don't think it's a bad weapon. Again, it's a weapon that I've used very little of. Like, it's not one that I'm like, ooh, I'm coming up on the part of the game where I get the crossbow. It's not like the spear gun with Bioshock 2 where it's exciting. It's a crossbow. The spear gun impales. The crossbow just kind of, you know. The grenade launcher, so I'll give it an A, because although I don't use it super often, if I'm like reloading when I'm not doing a wrench run, if I'm reloading and I come up on a turret or something, or something, it's just a really quick snap to pull the trigger, the turret's gone. It's very convenient for those moments. And so I was going to do a tier list that also had alternative ammo types, but then it occurred to me that I don't use them. Like, I know that some of the bonuses from the camera are like, Big Daddies are more vulnerable to anti-personal rounds. Doesn't matter, because I'm using the shotgun anyway. So, those were my 2 tier lists for the day. It's been a while since we've done a tier list video, so I wanted to do one, and I'm tired and didn't feel like hooking up the 100 cords to record gameplay. I should have done it earlier, but I've been very much procrastinating tonight. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed. Hope you're having a good day. If you're watching early on, have a good rest of your day. I'll see you in the next one. And, these are my opinions. You're welcome to agree with them in the comments. You're also welcome to disagree with them in the comments. But we don't have to have the same opinion. And I know I don't need to say that, but I feel like it's important to put out there every time I do a video like this. See ya.